Initial thoughts, I'm having so much fun coaching this group of guys. Had 15 practices with them in spring ball, had an identity, had a mindset. The way they attacked this offseason, the summer work with Coach Hess and the strength staff, and they came back, they've got a chip on their shoulder, they've got an edge, they are flying around, they're communicating at a high level, they're talking. It's a really close group right now, and obviously we got couple more weeks until we get to play somebody else, play Minnesota on Thursday night. But love what I'm seeing with the speed, the execution, the camaraderie, energy. All of those things have been a real positive.
As Evans said the other night, he described the defense as less systematic than before.
Okay.
I'm going to take you back to what it was before, but when you come in and you're engineering something with a lot more freedom and attacking, they can embrace the idea. When do you actually see that on the field where it becomes instinctive and reactive?
Yeah, well, one of the biggest things is I want the guys to just cut it loose and play fast and play free. So we try to coach in the simplest terms possible, and we build everything into different families. Obviously, I'm not going to get into that piece of it, but once they know the family that the defense is in, then it just makes sense when we put other things that are in that same family, and just the techniques that are associated with those, let them just play fast. Even though we're doing a lot of stuff, understanding just the concepts allows them to just deduce it down, their role, and play at a high level and play fast. And that's the whole goal of all of it.
So are they getting it to the point now where you're able to add a lot more stuff?
Absolutely. And we put all the building blocks of normal down defense in the first day. The entire system was in the first 3 days. And one of the good things that happened out of COVID was they let us have the activities and the teaching with them over the summer. And that's been huge. We had the 15 days during spring ball. Then we had some more days during the summer so that we can pour into them. They can understand the schemes, the concepts, the techniques. And then now we get into practice. We're ahead of the game further than we were in the spring. And I thought they had a really good spring as well.
Geoff, at the ACC kickoff, Kamen was mentioning a lot about how in recent years this defense hasn't set a standard for itself.
Sure.
In your mind, what is the standard of a Geoff Collins defense?
Yeah, I mean, we want to be the best in every single thing that we do. We want to play at a high level. We want to play individually at the level that's the best in the country, and then as a defense, we want to do that as well. And that's the standard every day, is to perform at an elite level in every single thing that we do. And the guys have embraced it, and now it's become where they're saying it. They're upholding the standard. They believe in it. They know what it looks like now, because we are very transparent. We have our unit meetings. We unit meet every day, sometimes 3 times a day. Every single play that shows what we should be living up to is amplified at a high level, and the plays that aren't, we show those too, so we know that we don't want to perform in that way, and we want to elevate what we do.
How have the leaders like Kamen and Howard
they've been amazing.
Navigated this change for some of the other veterans going to the new?
I mean, I can just go Des Evans, Ruck, Huzzy, Power Eccles, Stick Lane, Jakeem Harris, Ritzy, Scoob. They've been absolutely amazing, setting the tone, setting the standard, and then as the younger guys watch how they perform, how they prepare, it's been really good. Because you got to remember, these guys have played a lot of ball. They've played a bunch of ball, the guys that are the older guys in this program, and the way they lead, the way they carry themselves. Obviously, Coach Brown recruits men of character, and it's just a fun group to be around.
Coach Brown has mentioned that he answered playoff.
Absolutely.
You've said before in the past, like 20 to 25.
Since I was the DC at Western Carolina University, that's what I've wanted to do. And me and Coach Brown align perfectly in that respect. And it's so much fun to be around somebody that is a Hall of Famer, that you're so perfectly aligned in how we want to roll guys in through the game. He just told the guys right there, we're not looking for starters. We're looking for as many blue on the blue team as we can get. And we're trying to get to that 20 to 24 guys range on defense, so we're rolling throughout the game.
You talked about 10 defensive linemen. You think you might go?
I think so. I really do. The way Coach Monachino has been coaching, pushing, teaching. Jacoby Cowan has had a great preseason. It's been great because he didn't go through the spring. He's had 6, 7 great practices. Bo Atkinson is playing at a very high level. J-Ron Harvey, Tyler Thompson. I hate if I'm going to leave anybody out. Joel Starlings, Rodney Laura. It's been wonderful to get Josh Harris. I should have mentioned him with the older guys, but he's been a tremendous leader for the group. how he's come in. He's has just a pro mindset every single day, and he's meshed well with the guys, and that's been fun to have him around as well.
I don't know if you want to call it fortunate or maybe torturous, but UNC defenses have had the pleasure of going up against guys like Drake May or Sam Howell in practice.
Sure.
Fast. You don't quite have that ability to.
Have y'all watched tape on Amari Hampton? Has anybody seen tape on him? He pretty good. Amari Hampton's pretty good. And I think Connor and Max and Criswell, having him come back to us, they do a lot of really good things as well. So even though those are 2 first-round quarterbacks, there's been no shortage of dynamic quarterback play this preseason. So let's please not get that twisted.
You're not worried at all then about the fact that you don't have, I guess, talented enough players to go up against to make this defense even better?
Not worried one bit. I mean, it is a challenge every single day. Coach Lindsay, the offensive staff, do a great job. We've got a huge offensive line. We've got 4 tailbacks that I think can roll with Amari and being the best of the best in college football. But the other 3 that are rolling through there are great players too. And then I didn't know this was going to be an offensive. I love it. But then you got Bryson Nesbitt, who didn't go through spring, and John Copenhagen, who's back, and they're playing really good. And then you've got Jake Johnson. I mean, there's no shortage of weapons that we have to go against every day, and the multiplicity of things Coach Lindsay and the offense are doing, it gives us chances to get every single technique and defense and coverage in front and pressure work.
Another brief offensive question, I apologize, but another preseason all-AC guy along with Hampton, Willie Lampy.
Yes.
Just tell me about him. What makes him so difficult and different to go up against?
And the reason I smiled, he's the very first person that I met when I walked into the building back in January. Willie was in here getting extra work a day before they were supposed to come back, and just his demeanor, his attitude, his work ethic. He's so physically so strong. He's played a lot of ball as well. And just the relationships that we have across the line as a scrimmage has been really fun. I mean, they get after each other, but the respect that they have for each other is fun to be around too.
Last season, you said that Gray was kind of that dingle linebacker from Carolina. How is Power Echols stepped in that role?
Power Echols is absolutely amazing. I mean, he's a 3-down backer at the next level. He does a lot of things for us. He's playing the Willie backer for the most part. We'll get exposure to Mike. We don't have to do it because he's done it so much. But just his leadership, his presence, his work ethic. I showed a clip yesterday. We did a one-on-one pass rush running back to linebackers. And it was Power Echols and Amari Hampton for 10 minutes going at it. And they were working each other. They were, it was really difficult for both of them, but they were challenging each other, pushing each other. But the level of respect that they had and showed, it just permeates throughout the whole organization. Typically, at the end of defensive meetings all my career, I end the meeting and we leave. Here, I end the meeting, I toss it to Power Echols and let him close the thing out and let him have the last word. That's how much respect I have for him, how much respect all the players on the defense have for him, and really in the program as well.
Cedric, to stay on the linebacker spot a little bit, where do you kind of see the, I guess, other guys in that depth? You have, Power and Amari, kind of those starters. Where do you see the next guys like the?
Well, first I'm going to talk about Amari because Amari has obviously paid attention to the leadership of Power Echols and Cedric Gray, because he's just seamlessly transitioned into that role. He's got a fiery personality. I don't know if y'all get to see it as much. He's a competitor. He's highly intelligent. He makes all the calls and does a tremendous job, and he's a playmaker as well. And then we've got a really good battle behind them with Caleb Lavalley, Michael Short, Ashton Woods, Kane Law. Those are 4 really good backers that, we're moving around to different positions, seeing who could be that 3rd and even that 4th linebacker. And then in some of the different packages that we do, moving those guys into some of those spots as well.
With Geoff, I guess Gray and with Gray and Echols, those guys obviously took a lot of
great
snaps last season. Is linebacker a more
somebody's mom texted?
Is linebacker a more difficult position to swap guys in and out of there, like in comparison to other maybe spots?
Yeah, I mean we're planning on rolling. So the big thing is we've got to get 2 more linebackers that we can roll in and sub for Power and sub for Amari, and the competition is really good and they're doing a good job with it.
At corner, Geoff, seeming like you want to press more.
Sure.
Like with Marcus Allen and Uzi, are those guys like
to do that
Absolutely.
before you got here? And then what have you tried to impress upon them in the way of them playing?
Sure. One of the biggest things in this day and age of college football, you cannot allow easy access. So there's going to be tight coverage regardless of the techniques that we're playing, whether it's just solo press man, whether it's press bells or thirds, where we're playing some kind of trap or cover two, quarters, whatever, all those mechanics, you cannot allow easy access. And we didn't have Marcus Allen through the spring, and I've been very proud of him, how he's worked this summer. I think he's put on about 8 to 10 pounds of muscle. He looks really good, and he's got so much length for us to be able to do those things. And we've all seen Huzzy play a ton of ball the last year, and he had a tremendous spring. And just having those two guys and then finding out, again, who the next third, who the next fourth guy, and some of the guys that are going to come in on the sub packages as well, is huge.
Who are the guys that had a chance there? It's third.
There's a bunch. I mean, obviously, Dooley, Ty Adams, Jalen Thompson has had a tremendous preseason camp. So I'd say those are the three that are in that bird right now. But it's a really good competition.
Some of the guys have heaped a lot of praise on Caleb Cost at star position.
Yes.
You only had him for a couple practices in the spring.
Yep.
How is he doing there, and how does that position?
So it's kind of the same conversation with Marcus. You know, he didn't have a lot of time, but the extra work we got over the summer, and just how intelligent, how cerebral he is, being able to play the star position. And there's so much that position has to do from a mentality standpoint, from a schematic standpoint, and having to cover a lot of people in long parts of the field, and he does a really nice job. Ty White, Trey Miller, also getting a ton of work there, and but it's been fun. The Caleb has a presence. I know he's only been here a year, but he has a maturity about him, and he's fun to coach.
If I can ask a follow-up on the position group, how does the responsibility of that group change if you're going to be in a lot more press coverage? What is the trickle effect there?
I mean, it's highly multiple. Everywhere I've been in that position has been probably the most multiple on the team, on the defense. Just the things that that position has to be able to do from a mental standpoint and a physical standpoint. And it's just the kind of a hybrid position that we've got, and they're doing a really good job at it.
I was going to ask you, I know you have a master's in education psychology. How has that helped you?
I took master's classes, graduate level classes. Did not get the master's level. So I'm going to clear that up.
Clear out the resume.
Yeah, clear up that resume, champ.
How has that helped you with balls win this? Man, how do you
Sure.
with your players? How's it helped you?
That's probably my favorite part of the game. It's just finding ways to help the guys get better, build relationships, finding what makes them tick, what their goals are, what their dreams, their aspirations, and finding the different ways to teach them, push their buttons, motivate them in different ways. That's probably the piece that I enjoy the most about it. I love X's and O's. I love scheming it up, but the relationships and watching guys get better and finding ways to connect with them, that's close to my heart. It was your mom. And so that's the part I really enjoy. And we've got a bunch of highly intelligent, cerebral guys that you can have those deep, next-level conversations with.
Speak about watching guys get better from a couple years ago when you're game planning against some of the guys that you're coaching now.
Yep.
Have you seen some of those guys grow that you listed earlier that would be some of your leaders?
Yep, and I think I've said it at one point since I've been here. We played when I was the head coach at the last place, and then we're playing, and I see Des Evans standing out there as a true freshman, 6'6", maybe 240 at the time. I don't know what his weight was, but he's 6'6", 240. I'm standing there looking at him like that's the ideal for that position. And then now I'm blessed to coaching, and he's even better than advertised. Great leader, great person, works, competes, has a presence about him, vibes so well with Bo Atkinson and Kamen Rucker and Jacoby Cowan. Just the I wouldn't say quiet leader, but just has a demeanor and a presence and an edge about him that is so positive for our defense and for our team. And so he's one that stands out. And obviously I recruited Kamen out of high school. Excuse me. I tried to recruit Kamen out of high school, and then having the relationship and seeing the young man that he's become, has been awesome as well.
This Evans that you saw a couple of years ago, it's taken him some time. He's kind of had a little bit of a bumpy road.
Sure.
Are you seeing in him now, coaches at your experience would look and say, this guy can become that? Are you seeing that?
Absolutely. I think just how he's grasped everything that we're teaching schematically, how he's just gotten with Coach Ted Monachino, learned the fundamentals, learned the techniques, and how he's grown up, how he's matured. I don't want to say too much, but he had a talk the other day about how he has matured and how he recognizes some things in his development. And just those kind of things are so rewarding as a coach, even though I wasn't a part of it for the first couple of years, but to be somewhat a part of his life and to see him grow and develop into the man that he's becoming is awesome. Really proud of him.
What have the defensive players said to you this year so far in training that to them have stood out, made them better players in the years past? Is it specific drills they like doing better, more work ethic, different philosophy?
So and I've said this to a couple of guys that are here and ladies, is the biggest thing. I have so much respect for everything that's happened in the past. I've got so much respect for Coach Chizik. And what Coach Chizik has done since he's been here is the level of ball that they understand, concepts and schemes and fundamentals and techniques. So much respect for that. All I've come in is try to infuse some enthusiasm, infuse a standard, a belief, set goals that we need to attain internally, and the guys have done the rest. And it is a fun group to coach. And when you get a group that has a chip on their shoulder, wants to be really good, has an edge about them, then what you pour into them, hopefully can produce results, and that's what we're trying to do.
Follow up. So is it fair to say that Gene Chizik kind of paved the way for your success to kind of do what you need to do here?
I'm just saying he's awesome. I love him. I think the world of him. And we're just trying to build on everything that Coach Brown, the defensive coaches that are still here, that have been here in the past, great men, great relationships in our defensive staff room, and it pours into our guys to help them get better. And that's the goal every single day.
Jeff, during stretching, you're very active. You're walking around. It looks like you're having a lot of conversations with players.
Sure.
What are those conversations like? Does it kind of go back to what you were saying with the, this notion of like you want to build those relationships?
Right, and it's both sides of the ball. And that comes from Coach Brown. So his big thing is he wants us to make sure we're having relationships on both sides of the ball. So I don't know if y'all saw me today. I go up and down the offensive line group, talk to them. I was telling them about some new blitzes we had in today, because I don't want them to come out of surprise, but just tell them what we've got going in today, and then just talk to them, dap them up, and the same thing with the quarterbacks, receivers, running backs, and just because when you have healthy relationships as an organization, it's good for everybody, because we already have such solid relationships on defense. Anytime I can have them with offensive guys, I've got secret handshakes with certain guys, and just keep it moving from there.
Coach,
Offensive guys too.
Do you still feel like the new guy? Because, Thick Pen, Charlton Warren, Jason Jones, these were guys who were here last year.
They're amazing. So we have so much fun in our unit meetings. We have so much fun when we go back to the lab and just talk ball with the defensive coaches. And we'll do this here in just a minute and watch the film. And it's just such a great group of guys. And nobody feels like they're the new guy. It's just been wonderful.
So at this point in camp, usually you've got a few things that are starting to stand out that you just really want to be better at, that we say you want to be elite.
Yep, absolutely.
What are a couple of the things that right now you're looking at saying, we've got to get better at this in order to really be elite?
So in every single defensive meeting room, in our unit meetings, tackling and pursuit can be improved every day. That's even during the summer. That's even during the off season. Tackling and pursuit can be improved every day. So when we did some scrimmaging today. When we go back and watch it, the leverage, angles to the football, tackling at a high level, and pursuit, we hold that to a high standard. So right now, the very last play, we had 2 missed tackles in the last play of the scrimmage. And so that will be part of the teach tape tonight, and it's just to elevate their performance based on love and trust. They know that we care about them. They know that we have a high standard. So when we point out how we missed the tackle, how we're going to fix it, those things are received well, because they know the next time they do it right, we're going to amplify that performance in front of everybody as well. So that I'd say always tackling and pursuit has to be performed at a high level.
So one other follow-up on it.
Sure.
When you're talking about being elite, do you have a specific in-house definition for? Because it's one thing to say we want to be the best of the country. That's comparative to everybody else.
Yep.
But obviously, if you're wanting to be the elite, that's just about you. How do you define that for your players to say, this is elite performance today, this falls below the standard? How do you define
Absolutely. So just a collective, relentless pursuit to the football, everyone on the same page, every single play, and then we're swarming and tackling and stripping the ball out at a very high level. What I've done, we set the goals internally for the defense. I had the analytics guys at different companies. What is the top 10 standard at this, and this to be a ranked top 10 defense? And that's what we've set out for the guys. This is what we want to accomplish, and we want to aspire to that level. Have we done in the past? We need to do it, and they need to know the metrics and the way we're going to do it. Absolutely. Yep.
I think Max last one.
Max said huge. I think stop the run.
Absolutely. Yep. Stop the run, create turnovers, eliminate penalties, be strong in the red zone, play great special teams.
Geoff, we've talked to you a lot about the different places you've been and since you got here, but when you got let go at Tech, what was the process like for you just personally in accepting that and dealing with it? And was it difficult for you to get fired?
Absolutely. That's always a thing, because in my entire career it has just been consistent success, and then you go through that and you become very reflective, self-reflective. What a lot of people can do is they can just point fingers and blame and just deflect everything instead of going inside and going through the process, what you could have done different, what you could have done better. Obviously, everybody knows the circumstances that happened, but that doesn't matter. What could I have done better for the next time? And here's the benefit for me is I got to take a year to regroup, be very reflective, and then I get to come work for a Hall of Famer and watch how he does it on a daily basis. And it has been wonderful for my career, wonderful for my soul, and just get to come out here every day and pour into these young men in a culture and a program that is set up for success. And I get to watch him navigate this new landscape of college football that we're all in. And he does it with such grace, he does it with such poise. He genuinely cares about every single one of these players, genuinely cares about every coach and every staff member and their family. And that's valuable, because that means a lot to me. That's something I always tried to do, and to see somebody that has reached the pinnacle of this sport and is still doing it at a high level with class and grace and dignity and energy and fire, it is so much fun every single day to learn from.
Why have you made it a point to call the last place the last place?
Oh, it's Georgia Tech.
Okay.
It happened.
I didn't know.
No. I'm good with it. So
you tend to say it.
Yeah, the players that are there, love them, and then just, I've been very self-reflective. I've got no hard feelings. It's all love for the players, and wish the players nothing but success and love and all those things.
You got a former player there, Nate.
I've got two. I got two former players. I got Ja'Kai and I got Nate, and I was talking to somebody. I was helping Nate with his gloves today. I'm like, I've been having to take care of this kid since he was 17 years old. And
you know what he said about you?
What?
Said he still looked crazy.
Nate said that?
Yeah.
We're gonna have a conversation there. But he's awesome.
I
Jakai's
told you,
awesome.
but he said it.
He said it's a good crazy.
Yes.
He said go tell him that.
Yeah,
he did.
That's
He did.
my guys. My daughter was. I took my daughter to the hotel last night, and Nate obviously comes up to her, and I'm like, I said, "You've known him since you were 2 years old." So she has, and it's special to have those kind of relationships, and they mean a ton to me.
And they're the same height.
You said that. I didn't say that.
All right, thanks, Geoff.